the James Webb Space Telescope. Seriously. The single most important tool in the history of humankind, and you named it after your ex-boss. A man hardly anyone had heard of until the scandal. Oh, relax, NASA. I come to save your reputation, not to bury it. When I got your invite to address this conference, I was given strict instructions. A keynote speaker should be inspirational. Rah, rah. I won't abuse your hospitality like Greta Thunberg tongue-lashing the UN. I'm not here to make you squirm in your seats. My goal is to lift you out of them. 10 minutes from now, I want to see you all rise to your feet and clap until your hands hurt, with tears of pride welling up in your eyes. Clearly, I have my work cut out for me, but I enjoy a challenge, and so did you once, in your heyday. At the start of the 60s, JFK set you a task. Leave footprints on the moon by the end of the decade. And you did, with months to spare. I remember the thrill the whole planet felt in July 1969. Aunt Kathy worked for you folks. And she said, "This is just the start, Lena. One day we'll vacation on the moon, if it's not too crowded." I asked, "Will they beam us up like Lieutenant Uhura?" And she chuckled, "You know Star Trek isn't real." I said, "Well, spaceships are, and I'm going to be a fleet commander." A 10-year-old has mighty big dreams, but no concept of practicality. I ended up in aeronautical engineering, but still you inspired me then, NASA. Now it's my turn to inspire you. Let's get your mojo back. Revive what Aunt Kathy called that old Apollo program spirit. The time's ripe, and the world is counting down the days until the satellite sends its first images. And I love the fact that the experts don't even know what we'll see. But one thing's for sure, the universe is going to blow our minds. This is your moment in the sun. Don't get bogged down in controversy. Don't tear yourself apart over a name. I'm not taking sides. I can't tell if James Webb was homophobic or complicit in the firings or totally oblivious to what happened on his watch. All I know is you're digging in your heels and there's no evidence against him. So you said case closed. You're obviously sick to death of the whole matter. Well, I won't say another word about it. I swear. Let's focus on the telescope. Here's hoping there won't be any teething problems like with the last one. Remember all those blurry pictures? The Hubble was an embarrassing failure, the butt of comedians' jokes for years. But once you fixed the lens and showed us bright, shining nebulas swirling around, we gasped in amazement. I bought a huge poster and pinned it up on my bedroom wall like a starry-eyed teenager. Oh, I was pushing 35. Aunt Kathy was retired, and she plastered her whole ceiling. She'd lie back, gazing at galaxies like Supergirl, penetrating the roof with X-ray vision. We never did get to outer space, but it was easy to imagine we were there, thanks to the Hubble. One thing upset me, though. A friend said, "They don't even have a color camera. All the pictures are in black and white. That poster's a fake." I felt so cheated, I tore it down. But Aunt Kathy explained why and how they had to add the colors. This image reveals more than the human eye can see, Lena. Open yours. Give it a second chance. I pinned my poster back up. It's still there, 30 years later. It's a bit faded. My daughter says I should replace it, and I will, with a brand new view of the universe, courtesy of your next generation telescope. That was the original name, wasn't it? The Next Generation Telescope. Nice and forward-looking, but a bit too impersonal. You definitely needed to change the name. I imagine you thought long and hard about a new name. Went through a rigorous selection process to figure out the best possible candidate. No. Are you telling me Wikipedia is right? 20 years ago, your administrator just picked the name of the administrator who was the administrator 8 years before him? I always thought NASA was more about aeronautics and space than administration. Or does the acronym stand for never actually solves anything? A name's important. You hit the jackpot last time. No one can challenge Edwin Hubble's reputation as an esteemed astronomer. For one thing, he wasn't a politician like, oh, sorry, you're squirming. And the clock is ticking. I don't have much time. Look, just because you struck gold with the Hubble, don't let a white man be your default. Full disclosure, I have a vested interest. You invited me here as a representative of Northrop Grumman. Our company did more than manufacture the telescope. We designed it. But we'd never suggest naming it after our founders, even though Jack Northrop and Leroy Grumman were as ambitious as all get out. They knew their place in the grand scheme of things. This glorious telescope, this miracle of human achievement, deserves to be named after someone who truly is worthy of that honor. Face it, NASA. You're hopeless at recognizing genius in your own house. It took Hollywood to spotlight the unknown Black women who worked behind the scenes, calculating the trajectories that sent John Glenn into orbit, landed Neil Armstrong on the moon, and safely brought Apollo 13 home from the brink of disaster. Oh, sure. After Hidden Figures became a smash hit, you dished out awards, basking in their glory. Don't get me wrong. Aunt Kathy was extremely grateful to have 2 buildings named after her. The Katherine G. Johnson Computational Research Facility and the Katherine Johnson Independent Verification and Validation Facility are cool. But a trophy from Barack Obama meant much more to her. The Presidential Medal of Freedom. It would have been wonderful if you topped that while she was alive. She passed away 2 years ago at the age of 101. Even the most patient woman in the world can't wait forever. She always believed in second chances. And you have a second chance now, NASA. Take one small step for management, and one giant leap for humanity. Please join me in applauding the Katherine Johnson Space Telescope.